All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. So let's get this. I almost said night tour started. But anyway, Dan Phillips, Ozark Prepper, thank you for 5x5. Kimberly, Mr. Landfill, Johnny, Tom, Paul F., AllPower Prepper, Sarita, thank you for the 5x5. Evolving Media, Dobie, Wallace, Flown Grown, Dog Walker, thank you for the 5x5. Visit, Patrice, Buy the Book, Cowboy, Brian, Joe, Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5x5. All right, and I'm on Rumble. And Maria, I'm doing fine today. Thank you. Asking me that question on Rumble. Appreciate it. All right, these commercials are stupid. Enough already. Holy shit, that was crazy. All right, Rhonda, Teddy, Renee, South Florida, thank you for the 5x5. Lynn, Laura, Helldog, Highlander, Groundhog, Scott, Johnny D, excuse me, Chanel, Ron, Linda, Ravenwolf, thank you for the 5x5. AZ, Jerry, WTC, Nanny, thank you for the 5x5. Paul F, yeah, worked every now and again. Job terminology slips out of my mouth. Sorry. Bori, Incognito, Babata, Scrappy Cat, what's going on? Thank you for the 5x5. Vermin, Colt, Nomad, Squirrel, Witty, thank you for 5x5. Adam, Jason, Lexi, Kevron, Shatira, thank you for the 5x5. JF, Jenny, Vegeta, thank you for the 5x5. Rhonda, Scott, The Watchman, Digital, PA, Buffalo. There's I can't say that one, man. There's a Mag, thank you for the 5x5. Villain, Bushpig, Jerry, 3 Strong, Gregorgio, Ozark Negro, Violet, that one gets me. Be Real, Noodlehead, thank you for the 5x5. And Eric, King's Appalachia, Raccoon Eyes, Crow, Sergeant 11 Bravo, thank you for the 5x5. Rapture by Rapture equals false flag event. Joey, yeah, listen. The false flag events, man, could be anything. And here's the problem. I don't want to start my video or start a live stream on a bad foot, but I'm absolutely going to alienate a lot of people. So if you're one of these people I'm going to alienate, so the fuck be it. But I'm now running into the Charlie Kirk's not dead people. I don't know where on God's green earth they got that from. I mean, I watched that video multiple times. I played it slow. There's no way you can fake that. Like, no way. Then you got people saying it was a hologram, that he wasn't really there. I'm like, are you fucking out of your mind? Or are you just fucking a lunatic? Like, when people say that shit in the comment sections, people leaving comments in the comment sections and the comments in other, like, Twitter and shit, I'm like, are you fucking crazy? What is wrong with you? TK, my eyes look tired because I am. I'm very tired. I only got 1 hour of sleep. I was at work last night. So this is what 1 hour of sleep. Actually, I'm a liar. I got a couple hours. But we were up and down. So it's just tired. Whatever. Yeah, Miguel, the rapture's not biblical. We're going to talk about the rapture in a little bit. But the whole Charlie Kirk's not dead, and here's the problem. I think, guys, there are actors, bad actors, if you will, on the internet that start throwing these theories out here, and people who can't think for themselves are just like, yes, that makes sense. He's not dead. What the I mean, what video were you looking at? What hologram do you think they have? Hologram isn't that good. You can't carry a hologram away. That's the exact definition of a hologram. And on top of that, holograms you can see through. It's just I don't get it, man. I really don't. And so this is the shit I'm dealing with. Flat Earthers and the Charlie's Not Dead hologram group. I'm like, what in the actual fuck, man? And it's catching on. People like, oh, that's bad blood. That's blood coming out his shirt. And I'm looking, I'm like, it's out of his fucking neck. Like, where in his shirt is it? And the problem is, guys, this is the kind of shit that's going to keep us divided. Because let's just say conservatives and Republicans were on the same side. We are all pointing fingers at one nation that did this, right? So we're all pointing at Israel for the most part. Most of us are. But then you got people that are going to divide from that and be like, well, maybe it wasn't him. Maybe Benjamin Netanyahu didn't know. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? That man doesn't have anything go by or let go by that he doesn't know about. I just, it's just, I mean, they divide us on every level, and people are falling for that now. I heard a couple people, not in my comment section, but another comment section, go, "Oh, well, BB didn't know. He might not have known." That's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. I mean, he knows anything Mossad does. If Mossad scratches their balls the wrong way, he knows, and he's not gonna figure it out in this one. Anyway, so now, the hologram shit. That was the craziest thing. I'm like, man, I I love conspiracy theories. We know this, and I like throwing a lot of them around. But to sit there and go, he didn't pass away, that there was a trap door. There was no fucking trap door. It was grass underneath them, pure grass. If you pull up the Google Earth, it was straight grass underneath them, or dirt rather. Now they haven't updated it yet, but now it's paved over, right? So people are like, oh, they paved it over because they were paving over the trap door. What the fuck, man? It's one thing after the other. And again, this keeps us separate or divided from one another. Because we'll start to be on the same page, and then somebody will say something dumb, and you're like, what? And so the dumb comments, you distance yourself from that. And then people think the comments I say are dumb, so they distance themselves from me. It goes both ways. This is not a one-way street, if you will. This is a two-way street. So yes, there are things that I probably said that are dumb. I lost a couple of subscribers because they're like, you are starting to bash Israel. And I'm like, aren't you Christian? Why what do you care? You know? But again, people are drones. They were bred or controlled and brainwashed to think, a certain way about a certain nation. We all were. We were lied to forever. Again, I woke up a lot earlier than others. I was probably awake, if you will, by the time I was 15, 16 years old. But and then Hands-On Homestead said it's all fake, complete psyops. And then you got people that just think the whole thing is fake, that it was all staged on TV or some shit. I don't know. I don't have the capacity to deal with everybody's bullshit. I don't even have the capacity to deal with my bullshit sometimes. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, I gotta deal with your bullshit today. And then I go back to sleep or something. I don't go back to sleep, but you get my point. It's all bullshit, man. It's overbearing sometimes. It's just like, maybe I should have stuck to doing kitten videos. That's simple. I don't think you can get arguments out of that. I don't think. And yes, guys, anything and everything is possible. But there's some things that are just way out of line. Just way out of line. And like I said, I call it like it is. There's just a lot of dumbass theories out there, and there are a lot of plausible theories out there. A lot of good ones. A lot of dumb ones. And then there's the straightforward ones, the ones you hear from the media that they keep pushing this kid. There is unequivocal proof where the round came from. That you cannot dispute this. In every video angle, you can see where this round came from and what side of him it came from. What year was you at 16? I don't fucking know. 32 years ago, maybe? Yeah, 32 years ago. Take that away. That's where it was. 95, right? 96? 97. 97. I think it was 1997 or 19. No? Yes? No? Maybe. I don't know. 97 or 96. One of those 2 years. But that's how old I was at that age. Oh, come on. Give me a break. No jibby jabby or jibby jab. I know where holograms are, and holograms are not there. If you think so, you're watching way too many movies. And I'm a movie buff, no jibby jab. But yeah, no dice, dude. The holograms aren't that good. It's not good enough to, and then even then, that's not hologram. You're staging an entirely different being. You got guys grabbing him, the chair fall. That was all a hologram. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Seriously. Yeah, my kitten channel is going to be called the Angry Kittens, right? I don't know, man. Was a soldier. It was great. I don't even know what the fuck that says. What does that even mean? But yeah, guys, this is just it's enough of the shit. It seems it was to blame for everything. Grateful Preps NJ, they are. That's the beauty of it. They are to blame for majority of this shit. If you go down a rabbit hole with that nation, they are connected to everything. And the sad part is you're not going to believe it. You know? That's the problem. A lot of people don't look at Israel in that nation, in that way, rather, excuse me. Everybody just thinks, you know, oh, we're blamed. They are to blame for a lot of shit. Again, since I was 16, 17 years old, they've been to blame for a lot of shit and more. And there's so many things connected to them. It's out of control. But Prep to Adapt, Joe59, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. And Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Appreciate it. Listen, man. And then Cash Patel on his bullshit excuse. I'm like, come on, man. Seriously? That fucking shit? Like, and Cash Patel looks like a fucking weirdo. Is it me or does he look like a Martian? How come everything out of his... every time he stares at something, he looks like an alien or a fish out of water. He looks weird looking. He's always staring into the camera like he's trying to hypnotize you. It's the craziest shit in the world. He's the way he stares. He's like, look into my eyes. Like, dude, enough already. For the doggy, what keeps you up at night? A lot of, well, not a lot. Only one thing. As of recent, only one thing keeps me up at night. I get, you know what? It's wild because there are nights where I'll just pass out, and there are nights where I cannot sleep. And because of, you know, in light of recent events early this year, I'm up all hours of the night. I even got up, I think the other night, I got up at 4, could not go back to sleep till 6. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I just deal with it accordingly. He's cross-eyed? I guess. Yeah, Cash Patel looks like he doesn't have a neck either, right? He's like this, and he's wide-eyed, and he's like, I'm going to hypnotize you now with this bullshit fucking Charlie Kirk story. Believe me. You know, that's fucking him. Sounds like a fuck. And he sounds like an asshole, too. See you in Valhalla. We got the watch. Motherfucker. He wasn't a cop or military. That's some shit you say to, or like in a cop funeral, or that's some shit you say to a military guy's funeral. We got the watch, rest easy, see you in Valhalla. And Valhalla's warrior shit anyway. Again, not trying to take anything away from Charlie Kirk, but he wasn't a fucking warrior. So let's stop that shit. Let's stop the see you in Valhalla shit, you know? That's reserved for guys that do real fucking hardcore shit. Military, Navy SEALs, you name it. Not a dude who sat in a chair fucking disputing teenagers. Shots seem to come from us, right? Jimmy is right. you are right with that assessment. That's the again, I've been saying that for a while. After I saw that one video, and actually when I saw the first video, I said it had to come to us right, but where? Then they have the muzzle flash, right? But anyway. Don't want to go again down the road of this conversation because, yes, we'll probably be having this conversation with Charlie Kirk coming up, you know, obviously in the next couple of weeks or days, if not. There's so much bullshit coming out about it. It's Ohio Valley. I like that one. That's a good one. That's a good title for the Kitten channel. Wouldn't that be some shit? But anyway, Cash Tylenol Patel. So yeah, the Tylenol thing is interesting. I'm going to talk about that a little on the Angry Truth channel. That is some interesting shit, that whole Tylenol thing. Just because now liberal women don't want to go off track, trying to stay focused. So bear with me. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about the stupid rapture. I didn't want to talk about this. I really didn't want to talk about this. But I heard people were quitting their jobs, selling off their belongings because they thought the rapture was going to happen. In fact, there was an African priest who convinced people to not go on work today and tomorrow, to sell off their worldly belongings or worldly possessions, if you will. And supposedly Israel is sounding off the Feast of Trumpet Horns because it's Rosh Hashanah, I think, starting today. And supposedly tomorrow, the 24th, which is already the 24th in like Japan and those countries over there, I don't hear anything. And not for nothing, I didn't believe this. It's I'm just talking about this because it's not even a good talking point. It really isn't. Nonetheless, guys, the rapture is a Christian belief about the end of times, where all living and deceased believers in Christ are suddenly caught up from earth to meet Jesus in the air at his second coming. The term rapture itself isn't in the Bible, but the concept is based on the passages from, am I saying this right? Thessalonians, and then Corinthian. Now, I think it's Thessalonians, 4:13-17, and Corinthians 15:51-52. Through interpretations, though interpretation vary, some believe posted a secret and sudden disappearance of believers, a period of intense tribulation for those left behind, and a subsequent return of Christ, while others see the rapture and the second coming as one public glorious event. Now, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, so you guys are going to correct me. Let's see. I guess I might have said it right. I don't know. All right, I might have said it right. SIM cards can't play analog. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have read that. Anyway, all right, so Thessalonians. I said it right earlier today. And of course I get Thessalian. I can't Lycolians. Thessalonians. Whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. But anyway, Thessalonians, oh God, whatever, man. 14:16 describes Jesus Christ ascending from the heavens with a powerful command, the voice of an archangel, and the sound of God's trumpet. And this is where the rapture comes from, because people believe once this happens, a lot of us are going to ascend up to Jesus, into his open arms, I guess. Let's see. It states that at this moment, the dead in Christ will rise first. Then those who are still alive will be caught up to meet the Lord in the air, an event often referred to as the rapture. For the Lord himself will come down from heavens with a loud command, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Thessalonian. Ah, damn it. I said it earlier, man, and I completely botched it. But whatever. Hooked on Chronics. Yeah, seriously. And then we have... I got the other one up. No, I don't have it up. Give me a second. I'll pull it up now. Then you have Corinthians 15:52, 51:52. Get out of here, AI. Yo, everything is AI mode, man. Everything. It just... Whatever, man. I've just about had enough of it. All right. Corinthians 51. Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed. 52. Corinthians 15:52. In a flash, in the twinkle of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound, the dead will raise imperishable, and we will be changed. That's pretty much what it is. And out of these two passages, or rather three passages, sorry, that's where the rapture comes from. Now, the priest in Africa, I want to say South Africa, but I could be wrong. Thessalonians. Thessalonians. Thessalonians? Is that it? Thessalonians. Whatever. Anyway, so yes, with all of this going on, people obviously believe the world is coming to an end tomorrow. Again, people are calling out of work. They're selling their cars. They're selling their worldly possessions. I haven't read anybody sell their home, but they sold like their desk and shit like that, thinking that this is it. Here's the problem with yes, okay, thank you. Here's the problem with the whole rapture thing. A lot of people seem to believe that they are, I think that they're that arrogant that they're going to go to heaven. Mesothelioma. I can say that. Mesothelioma. Why did I say that? Because I'm fucking probably going to come down with that one way or the other. This video is pretty solid evidence. Jimmy is right. I have a video on my phone where I can I can blow it up and I can see all of that now that everybody pointed everything out. I can see, especially the exit wound. I can see all of that. Grateful Preps NJ. It makes perfect sense. Again, you're not following all the events leading to Charlie Kirk being assassinated. You're not looking at the fact that they were giving him a $150 million donation that he turned down. He started asking certain questions about Israel and their involvement in the Middle East and the things they were doing. He also had a falling out with Ben Shapiro a few months before, if I'm not mistaken, prior to that, asking a lot of questions and catching Ben Shapiro off with these questions. It makes perfect sense. The problem is a lot of you guys don't want to believe it. And that's that. And listen, that's fine. You got to go down the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole is huge. He even questioned AIPAC, right? AIPAC is a, how do you fucking say it? It's a PAC where they fund a lot of U.S. politicians. And if I'm not mistaken, we also send aid through that to Israel. They also fund a lot of politicians here to like be on their side and take lavish trips and shit like that. They're the only foreign PAC that's allowed to exist in the United States. The only one. Why is that? There are a lot of questions that people are starting to ask now. And again, Charlie Kirk's wife has been quiet, but I think she agrees with a lot of the shit that's going on. Thessalonians. I said that. Thessalonians. Thank you. But he was asking a lot of questions, and the direction he was going in, it was scaring them because again, he was up to be the next president, not next president. He was going to run for vice president with what's his name, Vance. That was the talk in D.C. Right, and so Amazon Suck said Kirk Memorial was shameless cringe. I didn't see it. I didn't see the memorial thing. I didn't want to go down there. I didn't want to look at that shit. Daryl Calhoun said Kirk is still alive. You're an asshole, Daryl. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it out like I see it from now on, guys. I don't care how long you've been following me. You're going to make some asshole comments. I'm going to call it out. That's dumb. You're retarded. You know? But anyway, that being said, because I can't deal with the retardation anymore. I really can't. I don't care how long you've been subscribed to my channel. You're going to make a dumbass comment like that, then you got to back it up. You can't go, he's alive, and then don't what you call for it. Because you sound stupid saying it, dude. Arkansas Living. Is that the same Arkansas Living that was on this channel a while ago? Anyway, man, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. And Be Real Beast, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. You know what? You guys are right up there. The Charlie Kirk's still alive. You guys are right up there with the flat earthers and the fucking people that think spam is delicious. All three of you guys off this planet. It's just holy shit, man. Spam is great. Charlie Kirk's still alive. The earth is flat. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Anyway, all that aside, guys, there's a lot of reasons for Israel to do what they did. There's a ton of reasons, and again, he was going to run for vice president with Vance, and Israel could not have that. They couldn't have it. Plus, they didn't have anything on him, so that was the other option. It was like they didn't have anything good on JFK, so that was their option. If they had something good on these guys, they would have blackmailed them. You would have never heard it again. You had Officer Tatum. You had Officer Tatum. Again, you got to watch that video with him and Benjamin Netanyahu. It was the worst hostage video I've ever seen in my life. Worst. Fucking spam. Did they? Did the Tiny Hats invent spam? Because spam is just spam and feta cheese. Oh, gross, dude. Fucking spam is gross. There is no version in this fucking universe I would ever put that shit in my mouth. Ever. Crystal said Charlie Kirk is still alive. Mom took Tylenol, so he survived. Nice one. Elvis is alive too. Yeah, like it's enough already, man. With the fucking the conspiracy theories, I get it, man. I get it. I love them. But to sit there and go, yo, he's still alive. My nigga's alive. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an asshole and an idiot. Did you hear about the Innominate? I hope I said that right. Yes, I heard about the SIM card router fiasco in here in New York City. They were planning to disrupt communication during the UN assembly, which is tomorrow, and all of the big heads are showing up today. And they found an apartment right near the UN that was going to disrupt all of the communications down there. They even have something called, hold on, AI 911 spam calls that floods the 911 system with bullshit calls, and then they wouldn't be able to respond to whatever might come through. So what happens is the AI, sorry, let me get this right. I'm going to do a separate video on this. What happens, guys, is the AI-generated spam and scam calls floods the 911 system. If something big goes down and people try to call 911, the 911 system is now flooded with AI scam and spam calls. Now, fucking AI 911 operators are picking up bullshit calls. Meanwhile, I don't think it's going to happen, but this makes perfect sense. If you have a multi-city attack and you flood the system with spam and scam 911 AI calls, if an attack goes down, it's going to take people forever to respond to that. Though if cops are on scene, they can just go over the radio and get in touch with dispatch directly, and then dispatch can send out the call to other RMPs and units. Listen, that whole multi-city attack, do I think it's going to happen? No. But am I ready for it to happen? Yes. Do I stay ready? Absolutely. Because you never know in this day and age. And because we are watching things go the way they're going, yes. Also, Grateful Preps NJ. Grateful Preps NJ said he dropped a hammer at the UN today. I don't know anything about it. And maybe, okay, so maybe the UN assembly thing was today, not tomorrow. Sorry. But Grateful Preps, that was the other thing. Benjamin Netanyahu made 6 separate conversations, or rather, 6 separate speeches on Charlie Kirk's death and how Israel's not involved. If he knows they weren't involved, why? And he would have thought those theories are stupid, he would have treated it as such and ignored them. But he keeps making comments because apparently he has something to do with it. The guilty party, guys, will respond all the time. Somebody else, like, somebody on here was like, oh, the Angryprepper eats spam all the time. I'm just going to look at that comment and go, yeah, okay. And then I'm going to ignore it, right? But if it hits home or it strikes a chord, I'm going to respond. And Israel being involved with Charlie Kirk's death, I think even Benjamin Netanyahu's like, shit, it's getting close because look at all the evidence that's pointing to them. There's no other evidence pointing anywhere else other than them. That's it. Johnny 308 says, you are your own first responder in a Shahista scenario. Absolutely you are. You better help yourself. I mean, listen, if you can help others during a, yes. A crisis, absolutely. But if the crisis is that bad, no, you're not. You're going to help yourself, your family, and get the hell out of Dodge. But I wonder how many people I pissed off with the whole, stupid AI bullshit. People like, oh my God, he called me stupid because... No, I'm just... Your whole theory is dumb that Charlie Kirk's still alive. Fucking Charlie Kirk's still alive. That's like the dumbest thing I've heard all year. Listen. I heard some dumb shit from that idiot Kamala Harris. I don't need to hear dumb shit from, you guys, or at least space it out. Just give me a breather in between your dumbass comments. But not everything, guys, is a conspiracy. Trust me. I used to think that, but it's not. Some things are, and some things are not. Some things are straightforward what it is. And did 7 wars while UN offered empty words. All right. Christy Miller, thank you for the donation. No, Christy Miller. It came from Laura Loomer and the National Counterterrorism Center. It came from them. But yeah, it didn't see it on the government websites, maybe because they don't think it's credible. But she said it was, so who knows? Um, and yes, I heard about, what's her name, AOC wanting to run for president or a senator, right? If I'm not mistaken, she wanted to run for senator or president. If she runs for president, she's going to be laughed out of the campaign. They're going to make that bitch cry. Matter of fact, they're going to laugh at her so hard she's going to be fucking tossing drinks again. All right. So, yeah, not a what you call it. Heavy mental illness. Listen, the whole mental illness thing obviously is getting out of control, right? But the women, there are women. I'm going to talk about that on the Angry Truth channel. The whole women taking, time. I don't want to talk about it. What is my backup communications for the city? My my Bofang radio, and that's it. I don't have a ham radio. All right. All right. They have to listen. The whole Tylenol and autism thing. Who knows, man? Who knows? The food industry has lied to us forever. So I don't know, man. But you should. I'm not going to get into it. You guys are going to catch me out there, and I'm going to start talking about that conversation. I'm trying to leave for the Angry Truth channel. And again, that was my backup plan. Is I only have a Bofang radio and yelling and screaming very loud. That's my backup plan. Screaming like an asshole. So, guys, back to the whole rapture. The aspect of the rapture is ascension of believer. Living Christians will be transformed along with along with the resurrected dead in Christ, and will ascend to meet the Lord in the air. Now, we've all seen those movies of the rapture, right? And people just disappear, right? What was it? The movie, the one with Kirk Cameron, right? He had a movie about the rapture, Left Behind, right? And he had a movie on that, and people just disappeared, right? You'd be talking to somebody, yo, man, can you do me a favor, pass the ketchup? You turn around, they were gone. Ketchup's on the floor, You want to go, hey, kids, get ready, and their book bags are lying by the doorway. Kids are gone, Or you're driving a car, and the baby stops crying in the back seat. Shit like that. And that's what they in the movies, people disappear. According to the readings, people are floating up to heaven. That would be interesting to see. Now, somebody, as a cruel joke on the internet, I thought it was funny. They said buy 100 helium people-shaped balloons, fill them up with helium, and then let them go during the time of the rapture. I was like, that was a good one. Because I'm just picturing balloon-like people floating up, and, other people like, what about me? So anyway, biblical basis, the belief is rooted in a passage such as Thessalonian 4:13-18, which speaks of the dead in Christ rising first, followed by the living being caught up to meet the Lord. 1 Corinthians 51-52 also describes a sudden miraculous transformation in the twinkle of an eye at the sound of the last trumpet. Separation from non-believers. A central tenet is that believers will be removed from the earth, leaving the non-believers to face a period of great trial and suffering. Now, there was a TV show called The Leftovers on HBO. Very good show. Oh, Jimmy is right. Just brought it up. Jimmy is right, just brought it up. And Leftovers was a good show. But in the movie, in the TV show, some people thought it was a rapture and some people refused to believe it was a rapture. But in fact, what the movie did in the last episode was the most clever writing I've ever seen. And if you guys are going to see it, do not listen to this part. Because the last part of the last episode brought the entire show together and it did something that was phenomenally awesome. And so what they did was they took the world. This guy created a machine, and this machine split the world in two. So you had one world, and the machine activated, and it split, and you had two different worlds and two different timelines, if that makes sense. So the world went from one timeline to two different timelines, breaking people out of both worlds. So in essence, people in world A thought people in world B disappeared, and people in world B thought people in world A disappeared, when in fact they just went to two different planets or two different Earths, either on the same timeline or different timeline. I thought that was the most clever writing ever. So they bring it all together in the end by a character doing something and recognizing, holy shit, this happened. And in world B, if you will, they lost way more people than world A. So world E went through a period of trials and suffering because they lost so many people. They went through a cataclysmic, or if not apocalyptic style scenario, because so many people were missing. They didn't have enough pilots to fly planes, not enough boat drivers. They didn't have enough people to work, deliveries, the whole nine yards. So they suffered the hardest. And I thought that was like clever. I thought that was clever writing. That was really good. But what the person does, that might get you to watch it. But it's a really good TV show if you get a chance. I think it's only 2 or 3 seasons. It's not long, and I think each season's like 8 or 10 episodes or something like that. But it's pretty good. It was really good. And then once the character found out what happened, her response was pretty good too. I thought it was like, holy shit. It was a good show. Reminds me of the Upside Down movie. I don't know about the Upside Down movie, but I would probably take a look at it if I could. All right. So cultural popularity. The idea gained significant traction in the 20th century, particularly within the American evangelicalism, and most popularized by media like the movie, or the book rather, Left Behind book series and predictions of evangelists. Sorry. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time today. Let's see. Different views and interpretations. Let's see. Secret and public event. Some interpretations believe that the rapture is a private event where Christians disappear, while others view it as part of a single, public, and glorious second coming of Christ. Rapture and the second coming. There is a theological debate about whether the rapture and the second coming are separate events or the same event. Upside Down movie is interesting. I will take a look at it when I get a chance. Timing. Within the time frame of the rapture, no one really knows. That's the other thing. No one knows when this is going to happen. And listen, I don't believe in a rapture. I entertain it because I'm like, what if it did happen? What will we do? But I don't think the rapture is ever going to happen. The rapture has been misdiagnosed, misdated, however you want to put it. We're probably working on 30, 40 times now that has been misdated. And biblical inaccuracy. Primary reasons these predictions are considered unreliable is that directly contradict Jesus' own words that the timing of his return is unknown to all but God. We all know that saying. What does the Bible say? Unknown timing. The Bible emphasizes the sudden and unexpected nature of the rapture, comparing it to the thief in the night. That's interesting. Believers are encouraged to live in a constant state of readiness and watchfulness rather than setting specific dates. In other words, there are a lot of people who say you need to be right with the Lord now and the book so that if and when it happens, you'll go right up to heaven. I guess. Now, yes, some people are quitting their jobs, selling their possessions, and liquidating their assets due to a viral social media content and a prophecies of a South African preacher, Joshua Mabutu. It doesn't say that, but I can't pronounce his last name. Mikael. That's what it is. Sorry. Or Mikaela. Anyway, that claims the rapture will occur on September 23rd to 24th of this year, coinciding with Rosh Hashanah. There's also something about the new moon and some shit with space. I don't know. This trend, dubbed Rapture Talk, has led to anecdotal reports of individuals making drastic, life-altering financial decisions based on this prediction. However, credible Christian denominations generally reject such date-setting prediction, and historical attempts to predict the rapture have failed, such as this one. Now, wouldn't that be some shit if all of a sudden people go missing, right? That would suck. I'd be like, uh-oh, too late. But yeah, listen, guys, this rapture shit it's enough. The rapture's not going to happen. Charlie Kirk is not alive. Elvis is dead. Spam sucks ass, right? And the earth is not flat. That's my message for tonight. Good night. No, just kidding. But yeah, it all of this stuff, guys, gets people's panties in a wad. I don't understand. It's bizarre. Sue Clark, and that's what I said, that should the rapture happen, your body is not going to float. You're not going to disappear. Your soul will leave your body like that. So there'll be a lot of dead bodies on the ground, or shells, if you will, if you want to look at it that way. Shells on the ground, because your human body can't go into heaven. Even I understand that. And people are like, no, it'll happen. No, it won't. Not even by a long shot. Elvis is not dead. He just went home. Elvis is in Graceland, haunting the shit out of it. That's probably where he is. Wander Gypsy said, you had me until you said spam sucks ass. Listen, my father used to love spam. That was like a staple in his home. Spam. Open up the closet, fucking spam. He had a secondary backup of spam on the shelf below the counter. More spam, He woke up dreaming fucking spam nightmares. Because he's fed us spam once, and it was the most horrific thing I've ever tasted. Horrific. I'd rather eat Rosie O'Donnell's ass than eat fucking spam. Nope, reverse that. Probably, I don't know. Probably tastes the same. But my point is, it's a nightmare to eat. And he fed it to us, and it was straight, it was nightmarish, man. I was like, ew, gross, we don't want to eat this. We got in trouble. I told you, we took a beating. My brother and I, we got punished, sent to bed, took a beating because we wouldn't eat spam. My father's like, you don't eat this spam shit? Kids in Africa, send it to fucking Africans then. We don't want this shit. Fucking spam. Gross, man. Gross. Fucking, that is the most gross shit that you can eat, spam. Now, he was just all about it too, man. He loved it. If he had a shrine, it would be a shrine to spam. Not Holly Berry, not Stacey Dash, spam. Fucking gross. It's the worst thing in the fucking world, spam. Fucking, how do all that Hawaiians, because Hawaiians are fucking sick in the head. It's a staple to them, man. They were eating pineapples and fucking beetroots, and then spam, and then they fucking fell in love with it. Fucking spam is gross, dude. No, thank you. No, thank you. Just gross. And people are like, oh, man, I love some spam. I want a spam sandwich. You better spam the fuck out of here. That's what you better spam. I want a spam sandwich. Who the hell says that? You got to be a communist to fucking love spam that much where you make a sandwich out of it. I'm going to slice up some spam. I'm going to put it on some toasted bread, put some cheese on it, mayonnaise, boom, spam sandwich. You're a savage. And you do not belong in this world. You belong in a Bronx Zoo if you eat a fucking spam sandwich with cheese and mayonnaise. Fried up crispy. Gross. Game Over said liver's good. Yo, you can take that liver shit and kick rocks. Liver's disgusting too. Yes, I'm a very picky eater, but spam? No. Absolutely not. If you it's food, you live, you die, eat the damn spam. Listen, if I had to eat it, I'd rather eat fucking twigs. I'd rather be the ultimate vegan and chew on tree bark before I eat spam. We were raised on Vienna sausage. My parents used to feed us that like it was a delicacy. Here you go, guys. Here goes some delicacy Vienna sausage. Ah, gross. Fuck that. Couldn't get me to eat that shit now if you fucking paid me to eat that crap. Fucking liverwurst, sardines. Yeah. Haggis, that's white people shit. Haggis, ugh, that's fucking gross. People are like, oh, that's the stomach of it. I don't give a fuck what it's the stomach of. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to smell it. You know, when people are like, I had haggis, that's a great Irish meal, a Scottish meal, or whatever it is. Take that shit back to Scotland or Ireland. Beat rocks with that shit. Nobody wants haggis. Fucking gross. Would you rather eat Lizzo or Spam? Lizzo, absolutely. I'd rather eat Lizzo than fucking Spam. That one won. That was an easy one. I knew you liked sausage. All New Yorkers are gay. Yeah, that's why I got to be careful about that. They said, do you like sausage? Nope. Like kielbasa? Ugh, I can't stand that one either. That's gross. Used to make it in the firehouse all the time. I was like, oh, we should have kielbasa because it's, I don't know, Irish or some shit. Like the Irish blood pudding, that's fucking gross. You know, like St. Patty's Day, guys are like, I have to have my blood pudding. I'm like, motherfucker, you live in the United States. Bacon and eggs, grits, not blood pudding. Well, I'm part Irish. I should be able to eat it. No, you shouldn't be able to eat it. It's fucking gross, dude. That fucking blood pudding shit is whack. You said black pudding or blood pudding. It's like one and the same. No dice. I tried it. I was like, oh, God, I almost died. Like, on the spot. Almost died on the spot. Head of cheese, you can suck with that one. Head of cheese. That's fucking gross. Fucking head of cheese. Everybody, you know, it's just like, I break everybody's balls on like St. Patty's Day. And people like, you know, no, you're not Irish. You're American. Stop with this I'm Irish shit. You don't eat Lucky Charms and they're not walking around. You're like, you're not Irish, man. Give it up. You know, it's weird. People like, I'm Irish descent. That's nice, but you're not Irish. You're American. You were born here. You didn't have Lucky Charms up your ass, you know? You didn't run around fucking chasing leprechauns. It's the worst. Listen, I'm the older I get, the more I start realizing flying another nation's flag is bullshit. We shouldn't be flying anybody else's flag. Oh, to celebrate my heritage? No. Don't do it. Stop. You know? Fucking just fly the American flag and shut the fuck up. Go visit your cousins in Ireland and have fun there. But don't start waving that fucking flag around. Like, none of it's acceptable. But again, I'm just old and cranky. Suffering Succotash. Wandering Gypsy. I like corned beef hash. I do admit, I love corned beef hash. Yeah. Mudshark says, your foul mouth is pure evil. A man of integrity and honor does not represent themselves like this. How do you look yourself in the mirror and talk like this trash? That's coming from Mudshark. I don't know. How dare you talk like this? You are pure evil and vile. Hey, Mudshark, fuck off. How about that? How about that for cursing? Scrapple. Nah, I don't. What is Scrapple? I'm not sure what it is. Really not sure. But grits are great. I had grits for the first time the other day. It wasn't bad. Mudshark is new here. Mudshark is probably like, oh my God, the horror. How does that filthy mouth kiss his mother? How dare he? I am flabbergasted by his mouth. Who cares? You know, listen, I know I don't curse as much as I used to. Someone actually called me out on that shit the other day. I was like, yeah, because I don't really need to unless I'm in my fucking mood like I am today. You know? But, Mudshark, man, sorry to disappoint you. But the other side of me is like, I don't give a fuck. Life is too short to care about the little things. Cursing. Oh my God, the horror. He is such a Negro with that mouth, that filthy mouth of his. Like, holy shit, dude. Seriously? Will the chair get raptured? I hope so. Imagine the chair gets raptured with me, we both descend to heaven, and then Jesus is like, get that chair out of here. Kick it. You know, like, he's like, you're not getting in with that chair. One or the other's going. The chair or you. I'd be like, take the chair. Christ, take the chair. It's yours. He probably doesn't want it. He's going to look at it like, that thing looks like it has Ebola and hepatitis. Ugh. Manilow, fake Israelite. Yeah, Manilow's just, he's just retarded. Leave him alone. Don't pick on him. He's touched or has been touched. Whatever. But, cream of wheat is the shit. Yes, I love cream of wheat. Man, do I love cream of wheat. Mudshark. Yeah, maybe Mudshark is like, maybe that is a racist thing. Maybe he's like, like sand nigger. I don't know. Whatever. Who knows? But made by a sinful man. Chair was made by a sinful man. Probably. But this chair has been to hell and back. Will the Angryprepper be, no, my tattoos? You don't go with your tattoos, right? You go with your natural form, or however the hell it is, and that's not your tattoos, right? Yo, the transgenders are going to be really upset when they get to heaven. They're going to go up there thinking they're Melinda, right? And they're going to go up there and they're going to be Manny. They're going to, oh, right? And then, but by the time they get to heaven, they'll transition. They'll transition back to a man in a man's body. They're going, but I'm in heaven, like so. Transgender is going to be really fucked up, right? Born a dude, became a chick. As they leave their body, they're like, oh no, I'm Manny again, But shit happens, man. But anyway, real quick, guys, heads up, DHS warning about a domestic terror attack. Whatever, dude. Let me get through this article before the show goes off. Cool Kid said, I don't trust people who don't curse at least once in a while. Yeah, listen, it's fine. Look, I love cursing. I mean, it's just, it flows. But you don't need to do it all the time. And it's just amazing. Like, people are new to this channel, and they're like, oh my God, he said fuck. No, they go, he said the F word, honey. And then the husband's like, what do you mean? He said F-U-C. I can't finish the K. Oh my God. And then they start fucking sweating and shit, because they actually spelled out the curse word, Another husband, like, he said the F word. What, the faggot? No, not that one. The ultimate evil F word. Oh my God, What about the LGBTQ Catholics? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with them. You are filth. Darlin Dar says you are filth. Okay, I guess. I didn't take a shower in 24 hours, so I am filthy. Right? But anyway. Reverse mud flap. Again, people are just in awe with the cursing. Like, oh my God. It's wild. It's the wildest thing. Listen, it is what it is. The crazy shit is, people are like in awe with my cursing, or they'll just be like, oh, you curse too much. Meanwhile, you have people doing some evil shit out there, but they're not going after them. They're going after the guy that uses the fucking F word too much. I use all of it. I say retard, fuck, shit, piss, cunt, Caligulus. I say it all, man. So whatever. Blue Butterfly. I think so. But yes, we shall call this channel the Filthy Prepper from now on. I don't understand. Like, when people say shit like that, am I supposed to be like, oh no, they're calling me out, I'm gonna change my ways? Suck it, man. Anyway, let's read this article real quick. We got about 4 or 5 minutes. The National Counterterrorism Center warned last Friday, that Al-Qaeda, not likely, and its Yemen-based affiliate, Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, remains determined to carry out an attack against the United States. Bullshit. In a nationwide advisory to law enforcement, the agency said both groups are looking to exploit global conflict and continue U.S. involvement overseas. Whatever, dude. The memo warned that Al-Qaeda and its Yemen-based affiliate are likely seeking to leverage their media publication in global conflict, particularly where there is U.S. support or military involvement, to inspire potential attackers. The National Counterterrorism Center, established after 9/11 attacks, urged heightened vigilance among government personnel. Officials were advised not to post travel plans online to avoid displaying badges or IDs in public, and to remain alert for signs of surveillance. Right? That's people following you, the same car, the same guy, somebody looking at you and go, oh, and fucking like they drop their phone because they're trying not to make eye contact. I don't know. Whatever. The advisories also flagged soft targets such as sporting events and concerts, recommending visible law enforcement presence and prevent security briefings. Doesn't make any sense. The agency stressed the intelligence was intended to give local authorities tools to disrupt possible plots, and they disrupted a plot just the other day. So maybe this has some maybe this has some truth to it. I don't know, because of that plot with the disrupting the communications down by the UN. They disrupted that yesterday, and it was reported today. Let's see where we're going. The advisory to soft targets, local disruptive policy. All right. While the memo emphasizes a broad threat environment, conservative activists and journalist Laura Loomer issued more alarming claims Friday night on X, alleging that Al-Qaeda cells have already entered the U.S. and are preparing for a coordinated attack across multiple cities. Sources tell me tonight that the National Counterterrorism Center has officially determined that Islamic terrorists affiliated with Al-Qaeda, have infiltrated U.S. soil and are actively planning a series of coordinated Islamic terrorist attacks. Now, pay attention to this article and the key words that they keep using in there. They tried to use the word Al-Qaeda or terror group multiple times. They want to say that they infiltrate us, and they keep saying Islamic terrorists multiple times, or Islamic terrorist affiliates multiple times. The more you say something in an article, the easier it is to influence people to think that this is going to be Al-Qaeda, when in fact, this is not going to be Al-Qaeda, this is going to be somebody else. I would say probably Mossad or something like that. Or Mossad. I can't even see homegrown doing this shit. They're going to look like Muslims, but they're not. They're going to be somebody, or the Chinese in that manner. The Chinese wrapping their head up and implementing something like this. But they're trying to brainwash us with the fact that it's Al-Qaeda. And Al-Qaeda has been quiet. So, and listen, anything is possible. But looking at this article and how many times they're using key words to convince you it's going to be Al-Qaeda or an Islamic terrorist group. Rhonda, thank you for the 2-minute heads up. Appreciate it. All right. Where are we? This marks the first time federal counterterrorism officials have openly acknowledged an immediacy of such threat. Loomer claimed that the terrorists are preparing to impersonate first responders by obtaining police and EMT uniforms from surplus stores and online vendors. She said that the goal would be to blend in during the attack, misdirect panic crowds, and stage a secondary strike. Now, we have been told that for a while in the FDNY and NYPD here in the city, that they would possibly do that. Or you would be running to them because they're wearing the uniforms and you see help, your eye or your brain recognizes that, oh my God, that's help, and then they start laying fire into you as you're running to them for help. There's also that. So if this has any merit to it, which it could have merit in light of what happened yesterday, the EMT police officer disguise is a big problem, huge problem. She further alleges that hospitals and medical centers in major cities, including New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, and Miami, have been scouted as potential targets with the intent to cripple trauma facilities, hospitals, block treatment from victims, blocks away from the hospital, thereby increasing casualties. So this might have some merit. I may have to do another video on this and clarify a lot, but that's big. If they are buying uniforms, that is huge. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go off the air now, head over to the Angry Truth channel. I will see some of you guys over there, and I will see some of you guys tomorrow morning on the Wednesday midweek report on the Angry Truth channel as well. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate the donations, everybody who donated. Thank you again, and I'll see a lot of you guys on the Angry Truth. Now, I will not have a doubleheader this week, unfortunately, unless I do one Saturday night. I don't know yet. But other than that, guys, see some of you later and see the rest of you guys next week.